the monthly RP giveaway is on. Check the link in the description. Okay, bye. Alright, so we've got 8.4 coming out in PB, and they announced already what the changes are, so I thought, what a nice way to keep my viewers informed. I can toss the news at their faces with a video. Yeah, so I will be probably doing more of those in the future. Just let me know what you guys think, and let's go. Right, so we've got a lot going on in this patch. Lots of small champion tweaks and changes, nada. You can see it all on the screen. Oh my god! What's up with all the text? I'm drowning in text, guys! I'm so sorry. Anyway, nothing too big happening here. The most important things I'd say are the Rengar revert, which was supposed to happen in this patch but was set back. This, in my opinion, an overall buff, but it also makes the champion easier to play. Not having to aim with your Q makes Rengar pretty easy to play, and they've also amped up his burst potential, so I don't know what to feel about this, but yeah, you're gonna tilt when the enemy Rengar gets fed now. Volibear's movement speed from his Q now scales with level. Also, his majestic roar now knocks back enemies and deals bonus damage if the enemy is in the air or dashing. I think the slight buff is very important for all of them Volibear players, as it makes the champion a bit more viable again. Volibear's damage falls tremendously in the late game, and this might help nicely. Also, freaking Yasuos are gonna die because they're dashing all the time. So happy. Zed got a nice buff to his ultimate, which really surprised me, to be honest. People are permanently banning him anyway, and now they'll be doing it even more often. I myself am happy for this buff though, because he is one of the champions that I really enjoy to play. Yay! And now for the spicy part, the item changes. Patch 8.4 brings a ton of item changes to the table, most of them being AP. Let's see what they are. First of all, the smite changing items are now removed. Instead, now we have the Pathfinder Sniper. This is the item which you'll be building the enchantment with from now on. You can activate it and it puts down a control ward. Your smite is the same as what used to be the chilling smite. And now I am not particularly a fan of this update, as it removes the uniqueness from the junglers, so to say. Like you're a Tristana jungle, well, can't take the red smite anymore. Kindred, nope. Ramas, no more damage reduction, boy. And also forcing people to use control wards is just weird in my opinion. It would make more sense if they force a jungling item that gives you a normal wards, similar to what the Sightstone used to do. Just my 2 cents. Next up, Ancient Coin now gives 5 movement speed, which is nice. I like building that on Gangplank anyway, so it's a nice little bonus. Frozen Mallet now isn't so effective on ranged champions, and I feel like this is very fair, as it makes champions like Garen and Darius stand at least some chance against a Frozen Mallet Teemo, for example. Hunter's Talisman is tweaked, but it feels like it's pretty much the same, just not gonna have full mana every time you gank. Nomad's Medallion gives you 10 movement speed now. Very moist. Now onto the ability power item changes, and oh, there's plenty of them. First off, there's a new item, the Spellbound Orb. It gives 100 ability power, 10% movement speed. It has a very interesting active. Spells around you give you stacks up to 200, similar to Maokai or Kassadin. When you activate this item, you get a 50% decaying movement speed buff, plus 0.25% per charge, and also 50 ability power, plus 0.25 per charge. This has an 8-second duration and a minute cooldown. Now, I am not sure whether these stacks will be used in the process, or if they'll stay, but like, there's not much information on that. But let me tell you, this thing is gonna be pretty overpowered on some champions, especially if you have a spammable spell. Next up, Archangel Staff is slightly more expensive, gives less ability power and more mana. It also gives cooldown reduction, and it has the unique property of reducing its whole cooldown by 10%. Oh wait, who's that? Rice! What are you doing here? No, but honestly, these 2 changes are about to make Rice extremely good in the next patch. Next up, the Hunting Guise is reworked. It now gives you extra ability power, and while you're damaging an enemy champion, you get a buff that builds up for over 5 seconds. Each second you get plus 2% damage modifier that goes up to 10% maximum. I feel like this is similar to what Fervor of Battle used to do before. In a way at least. Do mind that the damage multiplier is not just for AP, so expect seeing some weird Korean builds with Kalista and this item or man, this will be so fun to see. Legendary Stormwind has a 10% damage passive now as well, and also it now deals percentage of the enemy's max health instead of their current. This is a huge buff! If the enemy's movement is impaired, the damage is still doubled, so you're dealing 4% of the enemy's max health per second for 3 seconds. 4% of their max health? What? You do lose the magical penetration, but damn, this item is now gonna be great. Demons around the world shall prevail. Okay, the Kickstick GLP 800... Man, what even is this name? It has a different building path now, doesn't give health, gives a bit more mana, also gives cooldown reduction, and it reduces its own cooldown by 10%. The Lost Chapter now costs more, but it also gives 10% cooldown reduction, so that's nice. Ludan Seku has a new building pattern. The components of the item give 85 ability power, and Ludan Seku gives 80. Oh boy. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that they'll fix this before releasing it, but at least for now, that's what it gives. Jesus. It also gives cooldown reduction 500 mana now, and the same 10% self cooldown reduction as the other items. Alright, I don't quite get this, but does Ludan Seku actually have a cooldown? Like, it gives 10% cooldown reduction to itself, but there is no cooldown to it right now. So about how quickly you can get 100 charges. Like, correct me if I'm stupid, but this makes no sense to me. Anyways, moving on. Another item, boys! The Orb of Shadows is here. It gives 25 ability power, 200 health, and 15 magic penetration. This is pretty much the old Howling, guys. The Moreo Monicon... The Moreo What? It's now called Moreo's Cursed Tome. It costs a bit more, it gives less ability power, it no longer gives 20% cooldown reduction, 400 mana or restoring mana on kills and assists. Instead it now gives 300 health, 50 magic penetration, and inflicts grievous wounds on the target, whatever their health is. Now this item just died in my opinion. It costs a lot, it doesn't really give much in return. I just don't think mages will be building it anymore. It will be more like a situational item, same as Executioner's Calling. Overall, huge enough in my opinion. Gives 40% bonus AP instead of 35. And I don't think it's still like gonna be viable. It's really, it has one of the most awkward building paths of the game, so yeah. I mean, it's good on champions like Vega, but yeah, not sure what to think about this really. Revised Crystal Scepter gets plus 10 AP. Nice. Twin Shadow is back, boys! I'm so hyped for this. It costs 2400 gold and it gives you 80 ability power, 7% movement speed and 10% cooldown reduction. You can use it to spawn to spook ghosts that will go to the nearest enemy champions and will store them by 40% for up to 5 seconds, depending on how long they've traveled. This is awesome! It's like what Queen's Tribute used to do, but more old school, you know? Nostalgic. I love it. Last but not least, voice staff is getting a slight nerf. It now gives 10 less ability power than it used to. All in all, I'm pretty hyped for this update. I really think certain champions will greatly benefit from all this. Ryze, for example, gets 2 indirect buffs. The new Archangel staff gives him more mana, has less cooldown. Along with the Spell Thief Fob, like Jesus, this will be pretty overpowered. If you run Phase Rush 2, he will just obliterate everything while running around like a Hecarim. Vladimir could also benefit greatly from this. Running a Spellbook as his keystone, you could have Ghost up every 108 seconds. Having a Spellbound Orb as well would just make him so strong and mobile, it's just disgusting. Cassiopeia will get stronger too, maybe Katas too, who knows. We're gonna have to see what the Koreans will come up with anyway. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little informative video. Make sure to throw a thumbs up at my face if you did. Also subscribe to my channel because I make a lot of league interesting content. Until next time.